Welcome. It's another Wednesday and time for our weekly wisdom. I'm Deborah LeeAnn, and I just came from a lovely community organization luncheon that celebrates all of the support and all of the benefactors that come together to support our children in the St. Louis area who are living with disabilities, both the children and their families. And it's such a great mission, and I was lucky to be a guest of an organization that was receiving one of their vans to transport children to therapy and back. So wonderful to be connected in that feel-good environment where we celebrate these young people who were all ages, from about 5 to 18, and they actually got up on stage and sang for us. And you leave with a tear in your eye knowing that there's so much good being done in our community. And at the same time, a lot of ego and a lot of wanting to look good and a lot of people that are there for other reasons, whether it's because their corporation is a sponsor and they were told that they had to go to this luncheon, whether it's someone who's there because they're networking, looking for a new role, and questioning myself and wondering what I was projecting was a point of concern for me. And I'm wondering how often, when you go out into the public arena, whether it's at a networking event or a community event or a social event or a corporate work event, what do you project? What face do you put on to walk out and introduce yourself to the world? And when people say, "Oh, Deborah, what are you up to these days?" What's your response? Is it first about what you're doing at work? Is it first about what you're doing at home? Is it first about how you feel, like I'm recuperating from the flu? How do you respond, and which of yourselves do you portray? Authentically, coming from a place of having some issues at home or a big blow up of something at work. I mean, sometimes you just have to say, sometimes it's not my best day, and let's have coffee and I'll catch up at another time and fill you in. Or I'm doing really well juggling a couple things back and forth between my personal life and my work life. Or you can answer in a way that's funny. You can answer in a way that's true, that's not lying, saying, "Oh, everything's fine, I'm fine." Or you can answer in a way that nobody really wants to ever ask you again because you go into your long story. So how do you respond, and who do you project? And what I'm learning is the more often that I sit back and think about my answer before I throw it out there, I can be more truthful. I can be more honest. And that is what is the most connecting. That is what, no matter what comes out of my mouth after that, it will allow me to be as authentic and true to me because I've really checked in first. And I'm not using the programmed answers that are so often at the tip of my tongue. So just a thought, how you're doing on that, and if this is an issue for you, and do you project out there or do you check in first? It's a great exercise, and to do it in a place where you're somewhat familiar with people might be easier first before you're in a room of cold strangers, because you're automatically on guard at that time anyway. So I invite you to play with that. Check in and then respond from a place, whatever's real for you, and see if that's a connecting way to deepen your relationships or what comes of it. Just curious. Until next week, take good care of yourself, and we'll see you then.